Let me just go ahead and announce real quick the introduction to public comment at board meeting. The next item on the agenda is open forum on, or public comment, excuse me. Before we begin, I will remind our audience members of the board's procedures for handling public comment. The public comment portion of our meeting is available to members of the public who wish to address an agenda item to be considered by the board on tonight's agenda. Anyone who wants to speak during the public comment might sign in prior to the start of the meeting and list the agenda item they want to discuss. Each public comment speaker will be allowed a maximum of 5 minutes to address the board. However, any public testimony speaker who requires a translator will receive up to 10 minutes to address the board. The public comment portion of the meeting will allow all speakers who have signed up before the start of the meeting to address the board regarding item on tonight's agenda. Please keep your comments or criticism civil and courteous. Please avoid using profanity and refrain from making a personal attacks on others during your opportunity to speak. Last, we ask that you do not discuss the students who are not your own child. If a speaker is seeking board resolution specific complaint, that concern should be addressed through the district's grievance process. District policy DGVA has been established for addressing employee complaints. Policy FNG is the avenue for filing parent complaints, and policy GF addresses community members' complaints. Grievance forms can be obtained at any campus administration office or in the central administration offices. Thank you. And our first speaker is Ms. Porta.
Melissa Rincon.
Welcome, Ms. Rincon. And good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
So my name is Melissa Rincon. I am both a community member and an educator with the district. I am here today to discuss a concern in hopes of advocating for our students, my colleagues, and our campus. I have been here since 2016. Since then, our school has seen 4 principals, none who were perfect, all who worked hard, each one bringing in their own set of strengths and weaknesses. In the 8 years I have been here, it is a trend that a student will enter our school as a freshman with one principal and graduate in 4 years with a different one. The word that best describes this is instability. This is a concern because our students carry all types of baggage and burdens, and what our campus and district should at the very least provide for our students is consistency and stability. MHS is the flagship school of our district. However, time and time again, we get treated as the alternative. I am here today because it is this body that controls these decisions. While most embrace change, these constant transitions in administration often lead to confusion and frustration. Tonight, you will learn how to review and analyze taper results. I ask you to look at the data changes and reflect on the changes of administration that have occurred during those years. Is there a correlation? In addition, reflect on the types of support you have or will advocate or provide for the campus. I sincerely hope your decisions will positively impact future reports of our campus. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rincon. No one else, right, Ms. Marta? Okay, moving along, colleagues, with the agenda, we have presentation of 2021-2022 Texas Academic Performance Report by Dr. Nancy Castillo, Assistant Superintendent of CNI. Ms. Chavez.
This is one of the best and most critical opportunities. This is where we get to highlight our teachers' work, our students' performance, our parent support, and all of our campuses and how their leadership is moving forward with that progress that we have made as a school district. I'm extremely excited to be able to sit here with you, and as I was not here during that time, and this work and effort was conducted by all the leadership that you have here in the district. And we know that with every opportunity, there is room for growth, and we will see plenty of growth and areas where we still need to continue working as a school district. And at this time, I want to recognize also our assistant superintendent, all of our curriculum coordinators, our principals and staff as they work very diligently to ensure that students are successful. We know that we had a critical point with the pandemic, and it's been a challenge for everyone across the state, across the nation. But again, this is an opportunity to demonstrate to you their work and celebrate every single one of our campuses. Thank you.
Good evening, Board President, Mr. Oscar Hernandez, Board of Trustees, Interim Superintendent Maria Chavez. Our curriculum department has been working very diligent to ensure that our students are successful in providing as much resources and direction for our campus administration. Tonight, we do have the annual report public hearing. Normally, this is a 3,000-page report, but we do narrow it down to just information and giving you the highlights. The 8 sections of the annual report are inclusive of the 21-22 Texas Academic Performance Report. It is going to be on PDF for the district and each campus, and it will be online. PEIMS Financial Standard Report for 2021, Financial Actual Report for the district and each campus. Section 3 would be the 2021-22 District Accreditation Status. Section 4, Campus Performance Objectives that are tied to the campus improvement plans and the DIP. Section 5, Report on violent or criminal incidences on campuses. Section 6, Student Performance in Post-Secondary Institution for each high school campus and district. Section 7, Progress towards the Board-adopted House Bill 3 goals for the district and each campus in the district as far as progress is concerned. And finally, the 2021-22 Taper Glossary. In Section 1, we are looking at the compiled by TEA for every district and campus using PEIMS data, student assessment data. A section on the taper is published as a PDF. It includes a wide range of information on the performance of students in each district and campus in the state. A performance is shown disaggregated by student group, including ethnicity and socioeconomic status, and provides extensive information on school and district staff programs and student demographics. The cover page includes the 22 accountability rating, whether it's ABC or not rated due to Senate Bill 1365. It's reported for the district and each campus. It is inclusive of 2022 special ed determination status, only reported on the district taper. It's inclusive of 2022 Armed Service Vocational Aptitude Battery ASVAB test, only reported on district's taper, and only reported if the district did not offer the ASVAB test or offered an ASVAB alternative test. And 22 distinction designations, just also for the district and the campus. So our cover page looks like this. It has Mercedes ISD, our district number, the accountability, it was a B, and it was actually an 85 in numeric value, and 22 special ed determination status that designates assistance in math and dropout rates. Also in this section, it includes the STAR performance reported for 2022 and 2021, all 3 performance in approaches, meets, and masters, reported for each assessment, all grades, all subjects, all grades by subject. Now the STAR academic growth is reported for 2022 and 2019. Only calculated in reading for grades 4 through 8 and English 2, math grades 4 through 8 and algebra 1, reported by grade and subject. And because academic growth requires consecutive years of the STAR performance, it could not be calculated for 2020 or 2021 due to the cancellation of STAR in 2020. It also includes information on bilingual education, English as a second language. It includes the STAR performance, disaggregated by various program instructional models for students identified as current emergent bilinguals or English learners. And it's reported for 2022 and 2021. And it has a STAR participation reported for 2022 and 2021. Continuing with Section 1, it includes attendance, graduation, dropout rates reported for 2020-21 and 19-20. the most recent years for which data have been reported to TEA, the attendance rate, annual dropout rate for 7th through 8th, and grades 9 through 12, 4-year longitudinal graduation rates for the state and federal rates, 5-year extended longitudinal graduation rates for the state, and 6-year extended longitudinal graduation rates for the state, and the graduation plan rates for longitudinal and the annual report. It includes a graduation profile for 2020-21 graduates. Moving along, it also includes the College Career Military Readiness, referred to as CCMR, the CCMR graduates, college-ready graduates, career military ready graduates. Related indicators includes TSIA results, CTE coherent sequence, completed and received credit for college prep courses, AP or IB results, SAT or ACT results, and other post-secondary indicators including advanced dual credit course completion, graduates enrolled in Texas higher institutions of higher education, and graduates in Texas Institutes of Higher Education completing 1 year without enrollment in a developmental education course. And of course, it's the most recent data for these measures are from the 2021 school year. Therefore, performance on these measures is reported for the 1920 school years. Section 1 is also includes student information, and it gives you the definition, student enrollment, including enrollment by grade level, ethnicity, certain student identification indicators, students with disabilities by primary eligibility category, and other student information including graduation information, retention rates, and class size information. It includes staff information, includes the total staff for the campus, the district, the classification, teachers by ethnicity and gender, teachers by highest degree earned, years of experience, campus leadership, staff salary, and so forth. Program identification, student enrolled by program, and teachers by program. The report for the entire state of Texas is online. By clicking on this hyperlink, which the community will have available, they can look up the Mercedes by campus and also by in the state of Texas. In section 2, PEIMS financial standard reports, it includes the financial action reports. For the district, it's all the revenues, the expenditures, disbursements, tax rates, fund balance. And for the campus, the expenditure is by object, by function, and program. And it includes the 2021, the most recent year for which this data is available. So the financial standard reports can also be, they're hyperlinked on this PowerPoint, and you can get all of them in the state, but in Mercedes in particular, just by looking for the campus and the district. Section 3 on the taper includes the district accreditation status. And each year TA does evaluate in 4 categories: accredited, number 1, number 2, accredited warn, number 3, accredited probation, number 4, not accredited, revoked. And in assigning accreditation status to the district, TA considers academic accountability, the financial accountability, data integrity, and program area deficiencies identified through RDA, results-driven accountability. Due to the impact of COVID and the unique challenges faced by schools in 2020-2021 school years, the commissioner has decided to assign accreditation statuses until 2022-23 school year. Therefore, the district was not assigned an accreditation status for 21-22. Section 4 is the campus performance objectives. And of course, here each campus develops their own CIP as required by the Texas Education Code, Section 11.253. Each CIP includes the performance objectives approved by the board that are based on data analysis and needs assessments, including data reported in annual taper reports. Each campus periodically measures progress towards its performance objectives, and updated CIPs for 2020-21 school year, which shows each campus progress towards meeting of the performance objectives, are posted on the district website and are available for review at the district's office, central office, and applicable campuses. Section 5, report on violent and criminal incidences. The Texas Education Code, Section 39.306, requires each district to publish, as part of its annual report, report on violent or criminal incidences that occur at each campus. And the report must include number, the rate, and type of violent or criminal incidents that occur on each campus to the extent permitted by FERPA. Descriptions of school violence prevention and violence intervention policies, procedures used to protect students, findings from any evaluations, if any, conducted under the Safe and Drug-Free Schools and Communities Act. The district report for the 2021 school year is available for review at the district central office and at each campus. And that correction is 2021-22. So here, there is an added section because of all the safe schools. As required by TA, the district has taken the following actions prior to the start of the 22-23 school year to ensure to conduct a summer targeted partial safety audit, conduct an exterior door safety audit, convene the district safety and security committee to review the multi-hazard emergency operations, EOP, and as a component of the EOP, the district active threat plan. Ensure all campus staff, including substitutes, are trained at their specific district and campus safety procedures. Schedule all mandatory drills throughout the year. Ensure all threat assessment team members are trained. Review and, as necessary, update access control procedures. Additional descriptions of school violence, prevention and violence intervention policies and procedures that the district is using to protect students are available in the DIP, the District Improvement Plan, and the corresponding campus improvement plans, which are posted on the website. And so here is the report that we do have. It's very small, but it can be seen. You'll look at Mercedes High School, 2 incidents at the total incidents at the bottom. Section 6, student performance in post-secondary institutions. TEC Section 39.306 requires each district to publish as part of the annual report a report on student performance in post-secondary institutions during the first year enrolled after graduation from high school. The data are compiled by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. The most current report is from 2019-2020 high school graduates. Student performance is measured by the GPA earned by 2018-2019 high school graduates who attempted public 4-year and 2-year institutions of higher education in fiscal year 2020, and that is in the state of Texas, not out of state. For each student, the grade points in college level semester hours are earned for the student in the fall 2020, spring 2021, and summer 2021 are added together and averaged to determine the GPA. So here's a snapshot of Mercedes Academic Academy, Mercedes Early College Academy, and Mercedes High School with the spread of the GPA. The total graduates, less than 2.0 GPA, 2.0 through 2.49 GPA, 2.5 through 2.99 GPA, 3.0 through 3.49 GPA, or greater than 3.5. In Section 7, the progress of the district in each campus towards meeting board adopted House Bill 3 goals required by TEC Section 39.306 requires each district to include as part of its annual report the progress of the district and each campus in the district towards meeting the goals set in the district. Early childhood literacy and mathematics proficiencies adopted under TEC Section 11.185 and CCMR plans adopted under TEC Section 11.186. And the progress made by the district at each campus as at the end of 2021-22 school year is summarized in the next 3 slides. So their early childhood literacy goal 1, the percent of 3rd grade students that scored at the MEETS level at above star reading will increase from 31% to 53% by June 2025. And so here you do have MISD, JFK, Hinojosa, Taylor, and Travis. And we have 3 bars graphs, that's 2018-2019, 2020-21, 2021-22. The next slide is early childhood mathematics, goal 2. The percent of 3rd grade students that score MEETS grade level or above star math will increase from 40% to 62 by June 2025. And again, you have the same slide with Mercedes ISD, JFK, Hinojosa, Taylor, and Travis. And finally, our college career readiness goal 3, percentage of graduates that meet the criteria for CCMR will increase from 66% to 90% by June of 2025. And you have MISD, MHS, MECA, and MA, and the 3 years going back with the exclusion of the year that was COVID, 2018-19, 2019-20, 2020-2021. Section 7 of the taper includes the glossary. It provides you the definitions, describes the methodologies, and the list sources for each data point in the taper. And there is a Spanish version of taper glossary, and it is scheduled to be released very soon. And all these, the annual report taper is will be posted on the district website within 2 weeks after this meeting. Paper copies will also be available at central office and at each campus. And any information, they can contact myself, but I'd like to also leave a copy with the public library. And that is our report.
Thank you, Dr. Castillo.
Thank you, sir.
Colleagues, any comments?
Mr.
Mr.
Hernandez, Dr. Castillo, thank you for that information. On section 1 of the report, what I did, I wanted to look at the student performance by percentage success on the reading and math exams in grades 4 through 8. It's really 3 through 8, but I'll explain in a minute what I mean by 4 through 8. What I wanted to look at is growth, and I wanted to see how students in 4th grade, when they were in 3rd, performed compared to last year's their 4th grade score. And so, for example, just taking a look at just one, in reading in 4th grade, those students, when they were in 3rd in 2021, scored at a 47%. Whereas last year, they scored at 63. That was a 16% or 16-point change from 21 to 22. The region also increased 20 points, so we were close there. In 5th grade, our 5th graders, when they were in 4th, scored at 46, and then in 5th grade last year, they scored at 73. That was a 27-point jump. The region also jumped, but only 25. So we exceeded, those 5th graders exceeded
The region
the region.
and the state.
And by the way, the state is nowhere near. We're exceeding the state easily
Correct.
in just about every case. The region is the one, I merely compared ourselves to. Grade 6 is kind of an aberration. There's always been a tough situation because there was no change in the region, and we dropped a little bit, 4 points, but the state dropped 3.
3 points.
Grade 7, once again in reading, we're right there, 1 point away from the region. In grade 8, we're 2 points away from the region. Now I want to point out math. Now this is all at approaches. In math, our 4th graders last year jumped up 31 points, exceeding the region of 26. So we beat the region by 5 points. The state was at 8 points, by the way. In grade 5, we jumped up 39 percentage points, and the region increased 35. So we exceeded, once again, the region. And that trend continues. If we go down, board members, you have that in front of you. If we go down to the meets performance, very similar situation. We're just a couple of percentage points away in reading and in math. So I want to take this opportunity to just commend our teachers and our administrative and support teams for ensuring that our students showing that our students can perform. Okay, now if we look at the raw data, we are a few points down. Okay, the report shows it. And so we're starting off in third grade a little lower than the rest of the region. Okay, and we're playing catch up. Now we can catch up, which means our students, through the help of the teachers and administrative team, they can do it. Okay. If I could make an analogy of a 100-yard dash, if the STAR exam was a 100-yard dash, we start. Everybody's starting with starting blocks, but we don't have our starting blocks. So at the beginning, everybody's a little bit ahead of us. But once the race gets going, we're catching up, and we've got the same performance. Our kids have the same speed, so to speak. Okay, we just need you to find those starting blocks, Dr. Castillo.
That's right, sir.
So once again, thank you to the students and the teachers and the hard work that the administration is doing.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you, sir.
Thank you. Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez, let me follow up. I want to commend you, sir, because it's always refreshing. If you look at the board, there's almost 900 plus years of teaching experience, and you know we all have our different interests. And as you can tell, my interest is the ESL and the emergent bilingual. And when I look at the numbers, because you all know I'm an Algebra 1 teacher, and if we look at our district, we have 1,343, 30 and 4/10% of our student population, compared with the state of 21 and 7/10%. If we look at the economic disadvantage, 4,129, 93 and 5/10% of our students are economically disadvantaged, whereas the state is 60 and 7/10%. When I look at these numbers, Mr. Rodriguez, we're doing our job, and I greatly appreciate it to the staff, Ms. Chavez and your staff, because those students is a reflection of Mr. Hernandez and countless of students that went to this wonderful school district, including my kids. So I just wanted to go ahead and add that estoy bien agradecido that the district is taking care of business, and we have the proof in the pudding. So thank you, Ms. Chavez and Dr. Castillo. Anyone, colleagues, would like to add anything else? If you'd like to add anything else, Ms. Chavez?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, that pretty much concludes our public workshop. May I entertain a motion to close our workshop? Okay, I have a motion from Ms. Vallejo. Second, please.
Second.
Second from Mr. Garcia. Any discussion? Because got to close it up, colleagues. Okay, I have a motion from Ms. Vallejo, a second by Mr. Garcia. All in favor by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed by saying nay? Okay, motion passes. We're moving along to a regular board meeting. Just colleagues, give me some time really quick. Okay, good evening. It is 6:02 p.m., February 21st, 2023. I call to order the Versailles ISD School Board of Trustees regular school board meeting. We have a quorum, myself, Vice President Ms. Delgado, Secretary Pete Martinez. We have Mr. Rodriguez, Mr. Garcia, Mr. Howe, and Ms. Vallejo, and of course our Superintendent of Schools, Ms. Chavez. We're moving along on our agenda. We have Pledge of Allegiance by Chacoan Middle School students. And we have invocation by Trustee Mr. Garcia. Please rise.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Heavenly Father, thank you for allowing us to gather here today. Please allow us to serve our children and our community faithfully. Please be our guide as we make the decisions necessary to do the business of our district. Continue to bless our students, staff, and community. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, students, and thank you, Mr. Garcia. Moving along on the agenda, open forum public comment. Ms. Huerta? Okay, let's go ahead and move on with the superintendent's reports. Student recognition, B, presentations, and of course, the Montezuma Cypress Tree Donation. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Chapman.
We welcome our parents and students for a very special recognition. Mercedes ISD Battle of the Books winner presentations by Ms. Dalia Saldana, librarian at the high school, and coordinating this event annually with all librarians district-wide.
Good evening, everyone. The Library Services Department held its 7th annual District Battle of the Books competition in January. This event is a literacy competition designed to encourage students to read quality literature. The students are required to read books from a list of titles selected by Region 1. And in the fall, these students began working with their campus librarian and began reading these titles. All our campuses participated in this district competition, and tonight we have the winners. These students that we will be presenting this evening have advanced to the regional competition that will take place this week and will represent Mercedes ISD at Region 1. We wish them all the best of luck. We have our elementary winners tonight from Ruben Hinojosa Elementary. First up, we have Brennan Trevino. Romeo Varela, Jocelyn Mendoza, Leila Garza, their librarian, Mrs. Maricela Molina. By a show of hands, how many of you have been participating in the Battle of the Books for more than a year now? Anybody? All right, good job. Congratulations, Ms. Molina, and your students. Do you want, we can do everybody at the same time? Move over, Ms. Molina, and we'll get everybody. Thank you. We have our middle school winners. Our campus winner, our district winner is Sergeant Manuel Chacon Middle School. We have Zachary Sanchez, Arlie Rabel, Mayra Murillo, and Jake Peña, along with their librarian, Mrs. Corina Acosta. And our high school winners come from Mercedes High School. We have Leah Adame, Jared Gonzalez, Ayana Rincon, also as the high school winners. Can we have the campus principals up here with the students, please, so we can take these pictures?
Congratulations.
So you want to do first? Want to do? How do you want to? Okay. So you tell me. You move it. Okay. So let me have a little forward, Ms. Molina, with your students, and we can have the board members behind, so we can get ready for that picture. Corey, let's move over here to the side, and we can.
and get in the center. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you guys. No, they're not. I thought they were gonna get off to your picture. There you go, right there. Because you're covering Miss. You're covering Miss right there, right there. Miss Lucy, move out a little bit. No, no. There. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Okay. This way, this way. One more, guys. Maybe if you guys, you can get in with them, you're covering them in the back. Yeah, like get in the middle. Scoot in the, there you go. Perfect, like that. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Is it through? Good to go? We're gonna do the Cypress tree donation?
Yes.
And then we'll let the presentations, okay. I don't know because,
Good evening, Ms. Chavez, Board President, Mr. Hernandez, trustees, community, and staff members. Today here with me is Ms. Kathy Cowden. Many of you probably know Ms. Cowden. She's also a member of the committee here in the city of Mercedes, Keep Mercedes Beautiful. A couple weeks ago, she approached our office and proposed to our district if we would consider allowing the committee to plant some Montezuma cypress trees in the retainage ponds at the stadium. I approached Ms. Chavez. She was very supportive, and she said, you know, let's get the ball rolling and let's move forward. I also consulted with Mr. Kochodame, being that it's in the surrounding area of the stadium, and so they're proposing that they plant 10 cypress trees. This is something some retainage ponds do have for looks, ecosystem, fertilization, etc. So it's something good. It's something positive. It's going to provide some color to the area, and so we're glad to Ms. Chavez wanted to present this to the board and also recognize the committee. Ms. Cowden, you have some words?
Well, I'll just say a little bit that the Outlet Mall did this in their retention ponds. So if you kind of want to see what they did, and that's what I presented. I don't know if you got the packet. They've been there about 10 years. And this Montezuma cypress tree, I tried to figure out who the landscaper was for the mall, and he was from Mexico, and evidently he didn't get along with everybody, so they fired him. But he did a great job landscaping those, and he brought those Montezuma trees in there and planted them at the bottom where it does hold water. And the last time we had a big rain, I noticed that your retention ponds held water, and that's what the cypress trees need. These Montezuma cypress trees are only found in 2 areas of the United States, the Rio Grande Valley and Las Cruces, New Mexico. So we're so blessed that that landscaper from Mexico, it's a very sacred tree in Mexico, and they are down there, but now that we have retention ponds, we can have them everywhere. We have a local landscaper, Mike Heap, that will come in and position them. He also is growing the specific species that grows here. And so we should see something. So if you kind of want to see what they might look like, we will stake them. And if one dies, we'll replace it. But Mike Heap will be coordinating with the beautification committee. And I just think it's a real opportunity. There is one in Mission that they estimate is 500 years old. So these are trees that are very long lasting. And I think it would just be, we'll just see the positioning of it and maybe work with Rolando about, you know, what they think when the landscaper kind of positions them. So we're estimating at least 3 in each pond, but kind of do a triangle. But it's a tremendous opportunity, and I think it would look really nice. And we might not live to see it, but it'll be there.
Mrs. Cowden, thank you so much for being here today. And I know that if you have anything to do, that it will be very successful, because I personally have seen your work, and as much as you try to help me grow something, I just cannot do that. But I thank you so much for your time, for that effort, and it's very exciting, and I cannot wait. And if you're taking care of it, I know it will be.
Well, the
you
goal
and your team
is
will be
the goal is by Arbor Day, and to possibly have some media attention to it, because all of our retention ponds, we really should embrace. Everybody in the valley should be planting them at the bottom, because they're really rare trees.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank you,
Cowden.
ma'am. Ms. Chavez, could I just add, if it's possible, you know, just my 2 cents, if we could put a little marker to acknowledge the family, and thank you, ma'am, for teaching me. So, I think it's fitting, ma'am. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to ask the business office to coordinate the next presentation item.
Good evening, Board President, Mr. Hernandez, Superintendent of Schools, Maria J. Chavez, and board members. Before we begin our presentations, the insurance consultants will be giving a 10-minute slot for presentations, to be followed by a 5-minute question and answer, which I have here, and I will distribute those. They contain a list of questions that has been provided, and a tabulation tool to evaluate the insurance consultants has been provided as well. The tabulation tool has assigned point values for the different categories in the ranking on the RFP. So let me begin by passing these out, and we'll begin our presentations.
Tony, can you keep the time? Thank you, sir.
Yes.
I can hear it. Thank you, sir. Okay. Thank you.
before we begin the presentations, during the presentations, they have 10 minutes to present. At 5 minutes, I'll call and say 5 minutes are left. And after that, 1 minute is left. And after that, time stops at 0. After that time, we could proceed with the questions and answers. And we'll proceed with the next presenter. Okay. Are we ready to begin?
Yes. Are we ready?
Yes, absolutely.
Good evening, President Hernandez, distinguished board members, and Superintendent Chavez. I want to say thank you very much for the invitation to come and present to you this evening. And I also want to give a special thanks to the Insurance Committee for their invitation last week and their very thoughtful questions. I think it made us think very differently as well. So thank you very much for that. My name is Shauna Robinson. I am the Vice President of Barrett Insurance, and I brought with me two of my colleagues today, Art Reyna, as well as Carrie Malik. So in the short time that we have this evening, I want to be very precise, and I'm going to go through some of the slides rather quickly, so please feel free to look at those. They're in your packet, and with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. We are here tonight to represent your employees' district, and there is no other agenda. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. I want to tell you a little bit about Barrett Insurance. We've been around since 1958. Mr. Barrett was the very first Hispanic insurance agency to open in the city of San Antonio. We've been around almost 70 years now, and we believe that renders confidence in what we do. We specialize in on-site concierge enrollments and customer service. We are members of HUB as well as SWIMBY. Kerry brings 35 years of experience and wealth of knowledge with him. He represents an aspect of the institution of insurance and landscape. He is also a subject expert in fully insured and keeps up with the management of that as well. We are not a TPA that only does your claims. We actually come and manage as well as promote your campuses. Who are we? Next slide, please. Here's just a picture of our team. These are all of the in-office team members, as well as we have 35 enrollers that travel for our on-site enrollments as well. Next slide, please. Just a picture of our team. Keep going. Here's a snapshot of some of our current and recent clients. We believe our experience, like I said, renders confidence. We have some clients that have been with us for over 17 years. We currently have 4 clients located here in the Valley, and we are now looking for an actual office space as well as recruiting an employee to actually have a constant presence here in the Valley. Barrett's has a growing footprint here, and we are very proud to say we have Agua Special Utility District, Edinburgh ISD, Hidalgo ISD, Lasada ISD, and recently a small physician office. We represent 15 districts currently and over 40 over the past 5 years. Next slide, please. Barrett Insurance partners with national firms. One size does not fit all. Our partnerships bring best-in-class solutions to fit each one of our clients' needs. We have access and partners with the leaders in the industry so that we have subject experts in every field to represent you adequately. We partner with payrolls. We partner with Skyward. We include Frontline, Ascender. We have global solutions. We have enrollment technology, as well as we have our own legal law team that keeps us up to date on any changes that might affect the district. Next slide, please. We are here to exceed your expectations. We believe employee benefit solutions should be the very best for every employee. From compliance to communication, let us provide a full spectrum of solutions for you and your organization. We understand the challenges today's employers faces, and we know you're asked to take on more than ever, and you deal with constant financial restraints. Expect more from a consultant and expect our full spectrum of solutions. We are very comprehensive in our services offered, providing all facets needed in the insurance industry. Legal, enrollment systems, we provide your 1094s, 1095s, property and casualty, workman's comp, as well as athletic insurance. Next slide, please. Next slide. Barrett Insurance Innovations. We understand your budgetary constraints, and when you hire Barrett Insurance, you enlist comprehensive benefit strategies under one roof, one phone call, immediate resolution. We promise you that any calls that we receive, we respond within 4 hours, to include weekends, and we have a resolution within 24 hours. That includes your employees, your administration, your HR staff, and the board. We represent each employee holistically, ensuring that they understand and have access to medical and dental care while protecting their family in the case of an unforeseen emergency with life insurance. We believe everyone should understand the insurances that are offered and have access to purchase what best suits their family, to include cost. Pharmaceutical analysis are done by us with immediate savings tools. Narrowed networks are represented. Direct contracting, wellness initiatives, value-based pricing on networks where we can save lots of money and have negotiated rates at hospitals, data analytics, on-site and near-site clinics, proprietary benefit solutions, and we audit current benefits that you have now to find any buried cost. Next slide, please. Narrowed networks are something we specialize in. We currently have a client right now in Dimmitt County. We represent Carrizo Springs ISD, and we created a partnership with the local hospital, Dimmitt Regional. Any of the employees at Carrizo Springs that go over and use those facilities have a zero deductible. It would be $1,500, $3,000, or $5,000 depending on the plan they chose. It is zero if they use Dimmitt Regional, as well as zero copay if they go receive labs, imaging, or see any physicians that are employed by Dimmitt Hospital. This has created an opportunity for 167 people to actually go and access the care they needed the month of September when we started this plan. You might be worried that's going to increase your claims. It doesn't, because those are negotiated rates with that hospital. They're going to be less expensive than any other imaging facility, lab, or hospitalization. So these are people that are getting access to care that have needed it possibly for years, that are able to access that and hopefully get on the path to a much healthier lifestyle. Next slide, please. We believe in wellness. We know it's important. Aggressive wellness initiatives encourage employees to be aware of their health. We want to help people hold accountable for either taking the medication that they need or getting the help that they need so they find out exactly how they can become healthier. For every 100 employees that participate in some kind of wellness program, we can reduce your overall claims by $25,000. Right now, we have a nearsighted clinic at which we believe is an opportunity here at Mercedes ISD. We would find out what the utilization is by creating a family practice home. Typically, 50% of employees don't have a family practice home and unfortunately choose the emergency room as their default. We want to retrain people. We want to help align them with a family practice home. We want to find a family practice doctor that's close to the different locations here in Mercedes and give them a zero copay so that your employees start to traditionally have a family medicine doctor they can go to when they don't feel good. We know that it costs $25 to go see a family practice doctor. It costs $4 for telemedicine. It costs $125 if somebody chooses urgent care, and it costs $1,800 if they choose to go to the emergency room. And that's the cost of them walking through the doors. We want to teach people that that's the last place you need to go unless you are truly having a crisis. I always say unless you're having a stroke, a heart attack, or you have a cut off limb, you probably don't belong in the emergency room. We've started to see an uptick in the emergency room visits in one of my other clients. So we immediately, thank you. We immediately started a data analysis and have visited with them, and that was on Thursday of last week, and as of Monday morning, we were at their cowboy breakfast at 6 a.m. to start retraining those employees why that's not a good resource. Those are the kind of things that we bring to your campuses. Data analytics, I'm going to skip through that. I think you can read that. It's pretty detailed. Pharmacy management, we're going to guarantee discounts. The other thing that we do is we bring an overlaid company to your district where anybody that's paying over $1,000 a year, and that includes what the district kicks in, is going to have free medication that's going to be delivered to their home. We know that if we can increase compliance and deliver things to people's homes, they're going to take their medicine, you're going to decrease absenteeism, and keep them healthier overall. I'm going to skip over direct contracting, which we know we can save 20% off your first year. The financial analysis, we do 3 basic things: track monthly, report quarterly, and adjust frequently. What is the Barrett difference? No employee is ever left behind. We sit down with every one of your employees for enrollment. It's what we do that's different. You have an enrollment book in front of you that we used at Carrizo Springs. Everything we do is in Spanish and English, from our information sessions ahead of time to all of the communicating to let people know that their enrollment is coming. We do an entire social media campaign. Everything is done in both languages. And then we sit down with every single person on site so that they understand their insurance and have the opportunity to buy what they need, not purchase something that they've been sold in the past. We also provide that at no cost to the district whatsoever. We have virtual enrollments for those that are not on site. And like I said, it's all done in English and Spanish. We also provide the 1094s and 1095s to your district, trying to take that burden away from your HR and become really a complement to your HR and reduce some of the things they're having to do right now. We want to complement your internal staff, and we want to take the burden off of them and make their lives easier. Thank you. Any questions?
Question and answer, colleagues.
Can you elaborate on your consultant fee structure?
Yes, ma'am. We had submitted in our proposal for $30,000 for consultant fees, which would be distributed and paid out on a monthly rate. It would not be paid out annually or upfront. And then we typically collect commissions to help pay for enrollment services and to bring our team on site and to be able to service you throughout the year. In your packet, you have the slides, an example of an enrollment book that we did in Carrizo Springs, as well as the savings, if you look over at the far-hand side, of what we were able to provide for Edinburgh ISD for their employees. Those are voluntary products that we were able to negotiate down with our carriers. We get very aggressive so that the employees actually received money back this year, and it was a nice little raise from monies that they have not had in the past.
What quality differentiates you from other insurance consultants?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
What quality differentiates you from the other insurance consultants?
Quality, I would say our transparency. So the one thing that we take great pride in is showing you everything that we've done, from spreadsheeting when we do an RFP for new voluntary products or a medical product. We're going to read every single word that's in every one of those proposals. I'm not going to hand you something where we're going to gain the biggest interest or where we're aligned with somebody. We represent absolutely no one but the district or our clients. So we believe transparency is one of the greatest qualities that we bring. We also have great knowledge. We've been around for almost 70 years, and we bring to the table our subject experts. We are trusted and have great our employees have, our clients have great confidence in us, with some of our clients being with us almost 20 years. And we also have that concierge service. So we sit down with everybody. We do it in the language that's convenient for them, as well as we have immediate response when somebody has a question or needs us on campus. We represent all of the carriers as well. I think we are currently appointed with almost 70 different carriers. So we have access to everyone, and we don't have a favorite. We're going to use whoever is the very best for the district.
And how many school districts do you currently serve?
Currently, we have about 15 school districts currently right now between Carrie and myself.
And within the valley?
Within the valley, we have 3.
How long have you been? What is the longest? What school district?
With Hidalgo, you mean here locally?
Yes, here
Hidalgo, we've been with for almost 4 years. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Robinson, with regards to the workers' comp
Yes, sir.
And stop loss, can you tell me a little bit about your experience with that?
Yes, sir. So that's Kerry. He's really our subject expert on that, so he does most of that. Kerry, do you want to just respond real quick?
Sure. For stop loss, we have access to over 100 markets, and You know, we've had good luck marketing it in the past. Our goal is to get as many people to participate as possible. On the workers' comp, there's two ways to go. That's fully funded or self-funded with a 504 network. That's something that we probably would like to explore. We'll bring you the options and you decide what's best for the district.
Thank you.
If it comes to pass, because we're self-insured, is it possible that maybe down the road, the board entertains the option of getting away from the self-insured? Would you be a great help for us if
Yes.
we're looking at that option?
Yes, sir. Going back to being fully funded?
Yes.
Yes, sir. We can absolutely do that. We are looking and recently RFPing one of our clients currently to do that exact thing. So we put out an RFP for both options to become fully funded and ask for people to respond to that as well as stay self-insured. I'm anxious to see what we ended up getting back on both of those, but we have no problem doing that and have expertise in both.
No problem doing a cost analysis and looking at some of the longitudinal studies on the costs?
No, sir, not at all. And we have the Claros IT system where we're able to utilize that to be able to give us an analysis on both of those.
Thank you. Any more questions, colleagues?
On the proposed amount, you discussed the 30,000 plus the commission. What are we looking at as far as to commission?
We just do standard commissions, so the industry has a standard. For vision and dental, it's usually 5%. For disability, it's 5%. For accident, HI, and critical illness, it's usually 15%. And did I miss one? And then for life insurance, it's 10%.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. We would be honored to represent Mercedes ISD.
The next presenter will be financial benefit service.
Good evening, Board President, honorable board members, Mrs. Superintendent. My name is Gilberto Gonzalez, and I'm the benefits consultant for Region 19, Region 20, and Region 2. I'm employed by Financial Benefit Services. We are the leading TPA in the state of Texas. We are a true one-stop shop. So we handle everything from medical insurance to pet insurance and everything in between. We even handle business insurance like property and casualty insurance, cybersecurity. Oh, did I turn down? There it is. FBS has been in business for the past 34 years. We're celebrating our 35th year this year. We are currently the stewards for 15 out of the 20 educational service centers. So we are the leaders of what you're looking for. In fact, we are currently the stewards for 8 cooperatives, which you are all members of each cooperative that we are the stewards. The PACE Cooperative, the Allied States Cooperative. These cooperatives were designed to make your job or the employee's job a lot easier. This is but a few of our current clients. So we serve very large organizations like Fort Worth ISD to very small school district like Monte Alto ISD. Each one we treat the same with dignity and respect, and we always find them the very best in employee benefits, from medical insurance to voluntary. The ones highlighted, like Brooks County, Alamo Heights, Cow Allen, they have their own self-funded medical plan. In actuality, we are the second largest medical administrator or medical TPA or provider of self-funding below TRS Medical. We have over 529 school districts, but on our platform, we have other clients and we have over 700 employers who utilize our technology. We're known for our enrollment technology. Our enrollment platform is owned by us. Everyone else that will come here and present, they have to rent their technology, or they have to put in place certain carriers in order for those carriers to pay for your platform. Ours is owned by us. That it's white labeled. So the superintendent, the school board, and employees at administration team can build their own culture. Our technology is able to send out push notifications, like a text messages in case there's an emergency or if you want to educate your employees. Our main focus is education. In fact, a little bit about me, I was a military intelligence officer before I left the military. I did not want to leave the military. I lost my father when I was 11 years old to a drunk driver. When I was in Fort Sherman, Panama, when I get a phone call from my mom, it says, "Mijito, I lost my ability to work." I became my mother's disability insurance. So the quality of passion that resides in customer service is found in FBS. I'm the product of a family that didn't have any education when it came to financial wellness, when it came to life insurance, disability insurance. We don't forget that. Each and every day, we're driven by that passion to explain the benefits, not just to your employees, but their family members. Our technology that we use stays on 24/7, 365 days out of the year. This technology is an app. We're the leaders. Like I said, we're the largest third-party administrator. Why is that important? It's because we assume the liability and the responsibility that your employees normally deal with for billing and reconciliation. For going out to bid, we go out to bid on your behalf. So the district doesn't have to waste those dollars. We have the expertise, we have an actuarius in-house, but our main focus is driven by technology. We want to make sure that we make it easier for your employees and their family members to find a doctor, to see a video on their phone, their tablet, on their desktop, and learn more about the benefits that are being offered here in Mercedes ISD. In fact, if you like, take a picture of that QR code, you'll be able to download the app onto your phone, and you yourself can test it. This is state-of-the-art. No one else has this type of technology. When we go out to bid on behalf, thank you. When we go out and bid on your behalf, we're looking for only A-rated companies. We represent 129 insurance carriers, and when we do, we are very skilled and knowledgeable on how to find guaranteed issues, how to find the best deal for you. In fact, in my 20 years of service in the industry, I've never delivered a rate increase until this past week to Vanguard Academy. I didn't want to do it, but because of COVID and the medical conditions of that school district, unfortunately, I had to deliver a rate increase, my first time in 27 years. But they had a 24% rate increase, I lowered it down to 9%. How did I do that? Our leverage. Not just our skills, but also the amount of clients that we have throughout the state of Texas. The BUCAs, the Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, Cigna, United, they know our block of business, our book of business, right? They want a part of that. They understand that our technology eliminates a lot of customer service on the back end. But we're able to provide a very competitive bid selection. We do all the hard work for you, all the heavy lifting. There's no cost for our services. We do Section 125, HRAs, FSAs on behalf of the administration. We will handle your COBRA administration at no cost. A lot of costs that the district right now is handling, as far as billing and reconciliation, we will handle the billing and reconciliation at no cost to the district. We will remove the cost center cost. When we enroll a school district, We have in-person enrollment counselors. We have a call center that stays open Monday through Friday. And then on Saturdays, you can schedule a call with me or one of my experts in employee benefits from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Everything that we do, we assume the risk and liability contractually on your behalf. Our enrollment management is very well equipped to be transparent for your administrative team to see where we are in the process from beginning to the end. Not only then, at the very end of the enrollment, we also have a post-enrollment and a review to see what went well, what didn't. We have interviews and surveys all throughout the beginning, middle, and the end, because we want to make sure that our retention of our employee benefits is very high. Our analytical services that we provide are based on the Benefits Hub, our proprietary enrollment platform. We provide many different tools that the school district can utilize that makes it easy if you are dealing with a medical concern, their medical insurance is running high as far as your experience. We can take and dissect those part of your medical experiences and build a wellness format. This concludes my presentation. I wanted to ensure that you have plenty of time to ask me questions.
Mr. That's a quick question, sir. Currently, we're self-insured. If it comes to pass and the board is looking at an option of maybe fully funded, would you be capable, and your firm be capable of give us some type of guidance and do some type of cost analysis? What's the best, options for us?
Yes, we could. We have a stable of consultants that includes me and 7 others. Our specialty is health insurance. In fact, many of you probably heard of Senate Bill 1444. We were the reason why that paradigm shift happened. It happened because many of our clients, which are over 500 clients here in the state of Texas, school districts, they were having issues with TRS, and they wanted an alternative to TRS Medical. So we build our own medical plan, which is self-funded. We build in the prescription part, the TPA part, and we went out to bid utilizing one of our cooperatives out of the West Texas Cooperative. Now, we are able to handle from beginning to end and be creative. What you need is somebody that has a creative methodology of thought and has a staff. We do have a staff. We're local. In fact, we have 4 offices here in the Valley. When we partnered with Higginbotham, you probably heard of that company. They're very large in the United States. We merged with them. They actually bought us. But now we had a presence here in Edinburgh and Lyford, but because of the Higginbotham merger, we now have a wealth of resources, not just in actuarius and expertise in the medical field, but we do a lot more than just medical. Any other questions? We feel very poised and positioned to help you. Every single one of my staff that's here in the Valley, there's 24 of us. In fact, the customer service representatives for enrollment during the busy time of the year are derived from the Valley. I'm very pleased to announce that when someone needs a bilingual enroller, they're acquired here from the Valley, and they're sent up north. Here in the Valley, we have individuals that speak 4 languages, and we're very well versed in customer service. Our technology and our experience makes us the leader of what you're looking for.
I see here that you have your fee per employee per month to cover the consultant fees. And I see that you have here stated on the commissions. Can you go over your commissions?
Yes, as long as we receive standard commissions for the voluntary employee benefits, we would do it at no cost. The Section 125 administration, the corporate administration, everything that you have under Section 125, from onboarding a new employee and outgoing employee, we will handle everything at no cost as long as we receive standard commissions, just like we do in Fort Worth ISD. Now, for the consultant part for the medical insurance, we have reduced the cost to $10 per employee per month. That's our total.
What does that come out to
expense.
the year, sir?
I'm sorry?
What does that come out for the year?
Depending on the number.
How much?
Right, for the year.
How many employees do you have here, Edward?
I just rounded it off.
700? I'll give you an estimate right here.
What I did, Mr. Gonzalez,
Yes, ma'am.
I know I had that question for our business office, and we rounded it off to 800 at $10. We're looking at 8,000 a month.
Yes,
For the year, we're looking at about 96,000.
yes, that sounds correct. We
And
do
that
this
was
very
rounding it off.
efficiently.
That was rounding it off.
Yes. We do this very efficiently because of our size, our leverage of our book of business.
And when you say standard commission, what is that number?
For like dental insurance or basic life insurance, is 10% of the cost of insurance. It's standard. Every single agent out there will be the same.
Okay.
It's what's approved by the Texas Department of Insurance.
Okay, can you break them down for us really quick, for us that don't know what the standard fee is?
It would, for each commission, for each product, vision, dental, basic life would be 10%. Disability would be 20%. The individual life insurance would be 20%. It doesn't go over 20% or 10%. That's the natural commissions.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes. Thank you for this opportunity. Have a great evening.
You too.
The next presenter will be First Financial Group of America.
Do we give you the business cards or do they? Okay, I just didn't know if we needed to hand out some business cards. Hello everyone, my name is Cindy Leal McClure and I am with First Financial Group of America. Here with me today I've got Nick Solinger, who is from McAllen, and Doug Banks, who is from Donna. And the rest of the team that could not be here today is here as followed: Scott Elgin, Jason Walters, myself, and then of course our technology people, Christina Cross and Liz Ramos, who also serve within the company to provide the additional services behind the scenes. Who is First Financial? First Financial is the first third-party administrator in the state of Texas. We were established in 1966. We are one of the largest TPAs in the state of Texas. A little fun fact, we were the ones that implemented your original Section 125 cafeteria plan back in 1984. So that was a fun little tidbit to, 87, I'm sorry, 87. So we specialize in school districts. 90% of our business is in the education market, K through 12. Our corporate office is in Houston, Texas, and we have a local team, as I mentioned earlier. The one thing that makes us unique is that all the employees that work on your campuses and with your employees are all employees of our corporation. We do not use contract enrollers. Everyone is licensed and is trained by our company. The services that we bring to the table, we are a third-party administrator as well as a consulting firm. We specialize in benefits and medical consulting. Our enrollment services, of course, are in-house. Administrative services, we provide your Section 125 cafeteria plan, and it's all administered in-house. So all the employees that help with those services are in-house. Flexible spending account, HSAs, 403Bs, 457, the Section 3121 FICA alternative plans, voluntary payroll deduction plans, COBRA administration, and that's provided at no cost to the district. We provide an ACA solution, and we provide consolidated billing and bill reconciliation. We have gone through the vetting process of creating partnerships through other consulting groups with which we've selected as Hub International, which is one of the largest in the industry. They are global. United Benefit Consortium, which is a UBC, which is through Region 12. The Education Service Consulting, which is the Raymondville Medical Plan that is being implemented there. Gallagher, and our sister company, Insurica. So the one thing that makes us unique is that we seek the marketplace for you and bring those options to you. Our enrollment platform, we own the coding rights for FF Enroll. We actually do all the programming in-house, so all the cases for your enrollment for your benefits that you select are programmed within our system in our corporate office in Houston. We also have a person in the Celerex office that is on our payroll, so should we ever need something unique within the system, they are there with the programmers. Our administrative services, we do your billing. So what we do is the benefits that you select when we go out to bid for your products that you choose, we will then do the billing for those services. We then build them into the system. We then submit one bill with all the carriers for you to simplify the process for your billing office. We then reconcile that. So what we do is we take the bill from the insurance company, what is in your payroll system and what's being deducted, and what's in our enrollment system. We have a proprietary system through Compare Plus that merges that information and it spits out the reconciliations. So what we do is we notify you when something doesn't match for balancing and billing purposes. FSA, HSAs, the plan administration, that is something that we do in-house as well. So should you offer a plan that is HSA compatible, we are able to offer those services, and these services are also at no cost to the district or the employees. And that is managed in-house. So if someone needs a new card or they have a question about their benefits, we can truly call our call center, which is an employee of our organization, and can assist an employee immediately. The benefit consulting process, I am a licensed consultant, and as well as Doug. So we're able to write RFPs. We actually have a system that allows us to write an RFP on your behalf, and we're able to provide you with all the options. We are able to provide you with proposals from all the carriers. We only work with A- or better rated insurance carriers. We feel that that will bring you the best service and the best benefits. So we're able to get you the best price for those benefits. It also gives us leverage in buying power. Since we are one of the largest, we are able to get that leverage with those carriers. We are also a chosen provider for two cooperatives, the Omnia Cooperative, which is a United States cooperative, purchasing cooperative. I know that you guys are a member of the Omnia Co-op, and then the TEBC cooperative as well. But we normally tailor all the benefits to you. So what we would normally do is we would come out, sit with you, discuss what your benefit needs are, modify those benefits for you. Then I would go out and RFP those products and bring you all those proposals to where you are able to review those benefits. Then our enrollment platform. We do create a custom website for you, but our thing is a high-tech, high-touch philosophy. We believe in providing you the technology, but we also believe in coming out and sitting with your employees one-on-one, because we know employees sometimes fear the technology because it's unknown. So we like to sit with the employees one-on-one and assist them with those benefits. And we do that for Meetings, we do that year round, so should you have any new hires, Nick would come out or Doug would come out and assist the new hires with their benefits. And that's just not once a year. It's as you get new hires throughout the year. And then the one last thing that I'd like to address is we as a corporation like to address you as a whole. We like to assist the employees to make sure that they are taken care of, because that's obviously our number one goal. Your benefits department, how you serve your employees to make the payroll cycle benefits being offered to your employees. So we serve that department, and then the district as a whole. So we try to bring everything and encompass everything together. So, any questions?
Well, Matt, we're self-insured, and my question to you is, if the board wishes to go fully funded, would you have the expertise to help us, to guide us through the
I'm
process?
sorry, can you repeat the question?
That we're self-insured,
Uh-huh.
and if it comes to pass and the board wishes to go fully funded, do you have the expertise to help us go through the
Yes.
process?
Yes,
To
we
the-
actually started in 1966, and we started off as a medical consulting firm.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions, guys?
What was your yearly fee?
We don't have a yearly fee. The way we get compensated is based on the commissions that are provided by the carrier, and that information is disclosed.
What's your standard commission?
Standard commission is usually 10% on the supplemental benefits, and then on medical, it's usually a standard, what, $10, Doug? $10 a head. For what? For medical. Yes. I know.
Any more questions, colleagues?
Besides Zapata, Harlingen, and Raymondville, any other districts here in the?
Harlan, we just brought in Harlingen ISD, South Texas ISD, Zapata, city and the county. Who else? Raymondville, he mentioned Raymondville already. La Sara, Santa Rosa.
Those are the ones that you're bringing on right now?
Harlingen just came on board. They were 1/1 effective date.
How many total school
There-
districts do you have here in the area?
Well, in the valley, we have what? Yeah, all the way to Zapata, probably about 8 or 9. And then in the state of Texas, we have what, around 400? Just under 500.
Okay, and then you said $10 on medical per employee.
Correct.
And then you said standard, you said,
For the supplemental benefits, like your dental, your vision, those are traditionally 10%.
okay. So life, disability, everything would be 10%.
Correct. And when we go out to bid, you will see the line item of how much we get compensated for those benefits.
Ma'am, on the notes it says, First National can provide all administrative service at no cost with agreement. The First Financial Capital Corporation be selected as agent of record, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I know you said how many schools y'all actually picked up locally.
Uh-huh.
Were any local schools that actually y'all got dropped within the last year?
Just one? La Villa.
What was the reason for that?
Superintendent change, so a political superintendent changed, a new superintendent brought who they like to work with in.
The superintendent was the one that decided on who to bring in then, not the
Correct.
board?
Any other questions?
Colleagues, we're good to go?
Well, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you,
I
ma'am,
appreciate
for
it.
your time
Thank
and
you.
effort.
The next presenter will be Marsh McLennan Agency.
It's the same. If it's $10, it's the same. And so we're looking at the same. The only difference is the commission, the percentages.
This on? All right. Tell us when. Ready? Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Can y'all hear me? Yes? Awesome. I'm Mike Bannon with Marsh McLennan, Clint Jackson as well. With Marsh McLennan, we thank you so much for allowing us to present to you all tonight. We'll get to it quick and fast as much as we can, but everybody should have a placemat in front of them. If you do, please pull that out. And we're going to go through this in the manner in which we did last week as well. So we're going to go top left, dragging your eyes across to the right, and then bottom left, going to the bottom right. And then we'll flip it over and talk a little bit about some of the things that we think set us apart as a part of Marsh McLennan. So if you've never heard of us before, Marsh McLennan is at the top portion. You'll see some stats in regard to who we are, but Marsh McLennan is the largest agency in the world in regard to risk management and insurance services. I think overall we're at around 86,000 colleagues. We serve 130 countries, 10 cities in Texas, over 1,000 colleagues just in Texas, but fairly spread out all over the country. So we'll talk a little bit about a one agency model in regard to what other school districts have done, and I think as it pertains to myself and Clint, I only talk about the things I truly believe that impact the folks that we're talking to, right? So I'm not going to talk about oil and gas companies. I'm not going to talk about law firms. We have a ton of business in the school district space, and folks have come to us to work with us because what I think are a few reasons, right? It's not 10 or 15 reasons. We've got a lot of resources, but at the end of the day, I think the things that we can deliver on and make impactful change to Mercedes ISD are what matters, and that's what I think we're going to touch on tonight. So very quickly, if you'll start at the top left, the one agency model is what a lot of your kind of school districts like yourselves have chosen, right? Because Marsh McLennan offers the business insurance, employee benefits, retirement services, and private client services. And for a lot of RFPs like this, and we answer quite a few, it's in regard to employee benefits and the commercial insurance. So Marsh gives us that unique ability to be able to handle both sides of the house, if you will. Not every client does, but I would say the lion's share, at least for school districts in your space in Texas, have adopted the one agency model. I'll get into a little bit of why I think that is, but if you'll pull your eyes down to the bottom left, you'll see our what we would consider an award-winning culture. You can read the tags yourself, but we're very proud of the distinguishing factors that have made us one of the best places to work. Some of the initiatives that we've taken on, not only in our area in Texas, but around the country. And I think we're industry leaders in regard to some of the very progressive things that we do as a firm. We'd love to talk more about those at any point, but truthfully, one of the two or three things that I think set us apart are the pieces that we bring in or around culture and how that affects Mercedes, right? I can only speak to our clients in the school district space. When we get feedback on how and when we earn business, it's in regard to the communication in or around how you communicate with your administrators, teachers, faculty, students, etc. In the middle, lower part, kind of 6 o'clock, you'll see tools and technology. And I'll speak to this part very, very quickly in regard to one of the umbrella companies under Big Marsh, right? Marsh is New York City. Keep that in mind. There are subsidiary companies under Marsh, right? I don't live in New York. I live in Fort Worth. But if you see at the very bottom, you'll see Marsh McLennan, Marsh, Carpenter, Wyman, and Mercer. On the benchmarking perspective, this is a second thing, a second item to where we get feedback from our clients in the school district space of why they've come to us. Mercer specifically is the largest actuary in the world, right? We gather more data than anyone else in the world. It is what it is. We've got the largest client base in the space. What we do with that data sets us apart, and Clint's going to talk a little bit about the secret sauce to how we've been able to earn business like this. But I think it's important to know that every year, you're going to hire a broker to do a couple of things, right? Buy and sell insurance. That's, everybody can do that, I can assure you. And if you can't, you shouldn't be doing it. But I will say, in regard to what we use, our data, we will be able to show you all, both locally, regionally, and nationally, on an annual basis, how you stack up against your competitors, if you will, your like school districts around the area. And I think from a perspective of competition and making sure that Clinton, myself, and our team, which isn't here tonight, but it's extensive, is able to take your data and give you all the information you need to make very tough and challenging decisions in or around insurance. And so on the bottom right, it'll talk a little bit about how we serve our communities and how we think that's tremendously important. So if you would, flip it over. And I'm going to turn it over. Oh, we got to press it. Got it. And I'm,
5 minutes, thank you. Thank you all for the opportunity to present to the board. I appreciate it. You know, every agency that you're speaking to today should be able to check off every single box as it relates to the scope of services you specifically requested. What separates Marsham to Clinton, and you'll see on this slide, is our ability to capture your data. Not just your medical, not just your pharmacy, not just your biometrics and your wellness and your health center and your primary care, as well as your disability, but also your workers' comp data. We're able to take that data in. We have clinical teams that scrub that data. So that's really important, because when we look at your pharmacy contract alone, we purchase more pharmaceutical drugs than any other company in the country. And we have what we call carve-in. Everybody wants to carve everything out nowadays. We actually want to carve you in. So when we take a look at your contract, your pharmacy contract alone, we believe that we can save the school district about 15 to 20% just by carving you into our contracts. Not necessarily changing the pharmacy benefit manager, just by changing the terms of the contract. And we're willing to give back. So if you guys looked at that financial exhibit that we sent you, this top part is the scope of services you requested. What's unique about us is that not only are we able to address all of those concerns, including the property and casualty, but we're also able to provide these enhanced services and the excess revenue off of your pharmacy. If you allow us to retain 20% of the savings that's actually paid to us by the pharmacy benefit manager, we will then in turn offset the costs for these additional services. So PATH is our integrated data warehouse. That's the vehicle by which we're going to capture all of your data. And we already have the agreements in place. The RX Solutions, we discussed that. Engage, that's our digital communication app. You can all use Skyward. We became familiar with Skyward, did some research on it. And we can, Engage can actually integrate with Skyward very, very well. So this will enhance, we'll be able actually to develop engagement strategies with your employees as well as their dependents to make sure that their care is being rendered in the most appropriate setting. So we can address a quality of care, we can address access to care, and I don't think any of the other agencies have even spoke to that. So that's one of the things we can do. But in here, you'll notice we provide what the actual cost is, and then we show who is responsible for the payment. So with that being said, hopefully we finish in time.
I'm going to give it one more second. So I would say the only thing we didn't touch on, and I'd be remiss if I didn't say it, the service wheel, if you will, that's in front of you. There are lots of folks that are behind the scenes that are behind Clinton I that help service accounts like Mercedes or any of the independent school districts that we have over Texas, and we've got a lot of them. I'd be remiss if I didn't say that we've got some real stars that work behind us. And so you see us, right, and that's all well and good, but there are people that are very talented that work day to day and get in the trenches with y'all to make sure that things are handled appropriately and that we're serving not just y'all, but in reality we're serving the members and your colleagues and your administrators and teachers and the rest. So we appreciate the opportunity very much, and if there's any questions, we'd love to answer them for you.
As far as to cost, I see your proposed amount figure. Are we looking at any additional commission?
No, everything that we do is net of commissions. There is, so with RX Solutions, the only way that they get paid is as a percentage of the savings that you and your school board actually realize on the pharmacy component. So, but as it relates to medical, software, there are no commissions within that.
I think it's a great question. We're publicly traded. Compliance is up there with the most important things we have, so great question.
So the only fee we're looking at is your proposed amount?
Yes, ma'am.
As far as to the cost to the district?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't like my.
I'm sorry?
But
And then on our initial meeting, we had a different handout. I think maybe that's the one that you have in your hands. You had included on your fee that enhanced scope.
Correct.
Is that what you were discussing right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say if there's ever a situation where something would be charged to the district, we would have open discussions about that, and be rest assured, they would have to provide some value if we're gonna choose to spend those dollars.
I have a quick question. We're self-insured, so if it comes to pass, the board wishes maybe think about going fully funded. Do you have the expertise to help us, to advise us, to guide us through that process? And maybe give us a cost analysis, what's the best path?
And it wouldn't be just about the state side of state. We would actually benchmark you on a regional level, as well as what we see from state size and similar groups across the country.
At no extra cost.
Yeah, there are self-funded feasibility studies, Mr. Hernandez, and other things that we would do to look at what makes sense being self-funded or fully insured. Of course, we would cover that during the scope of the year on our calendar.
Okay.
The one thing that you'll notice in Gage, you all have a bunch of different portals that the employees use and the students use. Pathway to our Skyward does a good job of consolidating that. However, our app will also consolidate all of those down with single sign-on capabilities. So as it relates to United Healthcare, as it relates to your demo carrier, your vision carrier, your voluntary benefits, we'll provide a single portal for you all to access all that information.
We had discussed you didn't have a local office, but
Correct.
that you would be open to one in the near future, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, so I don't, candidly, I don't make those decisions. I'm on a leadership board where we do M&A acquisition discussion. We've expanded tremendously the Southwest for us. Texas is a hub. And so, no, I wouldn't say, no, we don't have an office here locally. Will that be the case in 5 years? I have no idea, but your original question last week was around specifically, if we bring on a new employee, how would we help that person come aboard? Right? That discussion is wide open. We have never earned or lost business because we've said no to anything. Now, there might be a situation where we say no, and that's okay, but I promise you, we'll talk about it first.
And when we discussed bringing on, say, new employees, that you were just an hour away, that you could be here in person if needed.
Yeah, so
And you offered in person and
Correct. There's another way around
online.
this, and nothing here is cast in stone. Everything's negotiable. So, but perhaps we would be willing to embed a employee, either full-time or part-time, into your HR staff.
And we could do that whether it's through MMA or if it's through one of our carrier partners. So ones that you will already work with today.
And that would be no cost to the district.
That's where the flexibility comes.
Right.
But we can negotiate caps to the revenue, and anything in excess of those caps will credit back to the account to help offset that cost.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a good question. Just 2-second point. There are 3 or 4 mechanisms inside your plans today that we feel very strongly we could reduce costs pretty quickly, and that would be not a challenge. Thank you. It's a good question.
And also enhance the overall experience on behalf of the employees. That's the most important thing. Communication.
Colleagues, any more questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you all very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
The next presenter will be Ortegon Insurance Agency.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for having me. My name is Yvonne Ortegon. I'm the owner and CEO of Ortegon Insurance Agency. I'll try to make my presentation to the point. This way, I don't make you stay even longer than what you have to. So, I put an agenda of what we're going to be going over for you to reference, and then our company background. At Ortegon Insurance Agency, we have over 30 years of combined experience in the insurance and human resources industries. We are Texas certified hub and women-owned. Our employee benefits division comprises of 5 experienced bilingual agents that would be dedicated to Mercedes ISD. That includes myself. And we have over 20 contracted agents that assist us with servicing and enrollments as needed. We are locally owned. We office out of Westaco, Texas, which is approximately 5 miles away. We provide you a copy of this PowerPoint plus our brochure that gives you more information and resumes of all the dedicated staff members that would be dedicated for this project. Services provided to Mercedes ISD would be a complete analysis of your self-funded medical program. We would also look at the stop loss, prescription, all the voluntary products, workers' comp, risk management. We'll use competitive seal proposals and requests for proposals to solicit and make recommendations for carriers and plan designs. We'll design custom presentations for administration and the Board of Trustees, which we'll be showing you a copy in a later slide. Compliance would include the Affordable Care Act, COBRA, HIPAA, FMLA, and Section 125, which includes the medical reimbursement and dependent care reimbursement accounts. We are also able to print and distribute the required 1095Cs that are required annually to provide to your staff. And then we do provide an electronic enrollment system, which is Employee Navigator. So right now, Mercedes ISD currently uses Employee Navigator for their enrollment system. However, they do not have any integration with your current payroll provider, which is Skyward Software, and they don't provide any feeds or data exchange to any of the insurance carriers. So we would be able to transfer your Employee Navigator to ours, which would save the district money, not having to pay for the license and the use of that. And then we have an in-house agent that does all of the design, implementation, everything to do with Employee Navigator, and would be able to integrate all of your carriers, voluntary products, medical carriers, and your payroll services within Employee Navigator. So your administration department can make real-time changes on there, and everything would be forwarded to the proper carrier or your payroll system, if you wanted that. And then with this, we are also able to provide your employees and staff with unlimited access to their benefits throughout the plan year. All they have to do is log in. It's very simple. We would provide communications and presentations to them in English and Spanish, and we can enroll all products, doesn't matter who represents them, and we have designated bilingual agents on site for enrollments as well. We meet all the requirements of the RFP and can provide all the services. Our experience includes over 20 years with school districts and municipalities. We have customer reports, which I will be going over, compliance, which I've already gone over. We have excellent customer service, and proven savings, which I will be going over. We have all the certifications, licenses, and insurances that are required to perform these services. Our consulting services, which I went through. Just to add, we do oversee and are able to provide health fairs and immunization clinics to your employees at no cost to them. As the owner and CFO, I have previous experience as an administrator for La Jolla ISD. I managed and oversaw their employee benefits department. which consisted of their self-funded medical plan. At that time, I played the role of administrator, consultant, and agent, all in one. I analyzed the self-funded medical plans. I made recommendations on plan designs, budget analysis, and I presented to staff, insurance committee, and to the board of trustees. Oh, sorry, let me go back. Real quick, references I will go over, and proven savings will be the next slide. One example that's also in our response from from the RFP is through the RFP process, one of our self-funded medical clients, which was a school district, we were able to recommend plan design changes and negotiate the rates of their existing insurance carriers to reduce their fixed costs by 6.4%, or approximately $150,000 for their plan year. That's just on fixed costs. Another example was with the municipality on a fully insured medical plan. We reviewed their initial renewal rate, which was at 18%. We were able to negotiate at 7.9, but using the RFP process and analyzing all the bids that were received, we were able to provide them with a recommendation of going to changing medical carriers with the same comparable plan and reducing their overall rate to a negative 1.5. So that tells you what savings. Now, this is going to be an example of what our annual analysis, self-funded analysis, will consist. If you look at the top right pie chart, you see administration costs. That's what the district pays monthly per employee. It includes administration fees and the individual and aggregate stop-loss fees. If you look at the green portion, that was the prescriptions paid out for the plan year, and then the red portion was the medical claims. So in this example, it's pretty much a worst-case scenario. You have 12 claims over 125,000, 22 over 50,000, which is a lot of large claims in one plan year. So if you could see the pie chart in the red again, they were reimbursed from the individual stop loss $2 million. And the reason that happens is because once you hit the 125,000 deductible, those monies paid in claims get reimbursed by your individual stop loss policy. So in this case, if you look at the bottom left, you'll see the plan performance where the plan costs exceed the initial district funding by about $267,000. We were able, through projections during the plan year, to project that so that they could do budget amendments to have enough to fund the plan, which they did through the cost sharing. We also, again, the expected claims, what it would have been versus their total claims. And this is an example of a spreadsheet that we do ongoing for our different clients with self-funded. The fixed costs on the left in yellow, those never change, but your claims does. They had an estimated ratio of claims overfunding by 116%, which is extremely high, where we got to calculate what would be the negative underfunding and how to correct that. Our references again, we're running out of time. Cost of services, the total annual fee would not exceed $45,000. Why Ortegon Insurance Agency over anyone else? I have the unique knowledge and understanding of both sides of the insurance business, the administrator and as an agent consultant for school districts. We're locally owned and operated. We manage and implement the Employee Navigator online enrollment system in-house to be able to do the integrated feed and data exchanges needed. Our overall open enrollment process has a proven employee participation rate of 98%. We audit your billing and payroll deductions throughout the plan year to ensure any discrepancies are resolved in a timely manner and make sure any refunds are distributed to the district and to the employees. And we have dedicated agents on site that can provide new hire enrollment, employee benefits, qualifying events, and so forth. So in summary, we give 110% to our clients, and I thank you for your time.
Deb, I have a quick question, please.
Yes.
Currently, we're self-insured.
Yes.
And if it comes to pass, the board wishes to entertain maybe fully funded.
Mhm.
Do you have the expertise to do a little cost analysis and maybe
Yes,
guide us
sir.
if you are selected?
So for during the the insurance committee presentation last week, I was able to provide them with examples of what we do. We analyze your previous years versus the what you paid out in fixed costs and claims, and then we also analyze what a fully insured plan would be. And then we provide you with what the difference in costs and whether it would be something to entertain, which would save you money, or whether it be a higher cost to the district.
Okay. I just have one quick question, and I know state of Texas changed the insurance regulation, and I'm just going to ask you, ma'am, do you happen to have the licensed insurance consultant?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Our committee binder had all our copies of our licenses, and then the board packet that was, the RP response had all that information as well.
Yeah, I read it. Thank you.
Ms. Ortegon,
Yes, ma'am.
on your fees, we have here the proposed amount, and you went over that. It says Ortegon Insurance Agency is proposing an annual fee to be paid monthly installments. So the monthly is 30?
Yes, and then anything extra, which would be the RP analysis, and that would be 150 an hour, capped at 15,000. So that's where I got the 45,000 total. It would not exceed that amount annually.
Okay, because last week you had told us not to exceed 50, but it's 45?
Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Ma'am, how long have you been providing service to the city of Weslaco, San Benito, et cetera? Some of those local school districts?
So for San Benito, I was there almost 5 years, and I did. I was their agent and their consultant, but I was paid via commissions. And throughout the whole 5 years, I always had the self-funded medical program, which I provided all these types of analyzations, recommendations, and I had the voluntary products at one time as well, and at other times no. They had another agent, but it depended. But we did all their enrollments. We did everything for them.
Okay, Weslaco?
Weslaco, we do all of their enrollments, but we actually share. We divide the enrollments with 2 other local agents because we're all from Weslaco, and that's how the district decided to do it.
Ms. Ortegon, and you shared with us that you have 30 years combined experience and over 20 years of consulting experience. How long have you been in business?
So our Ortegon Insurance Agency was established in 2016. However, I have been an agent for over 25 years.
And how many school districts do you currently have?
Currently, well, for past and present, we've had over 5. We've had over 3 municipalities. We currently still have 1 county. And we have more than 15 private sector businesses, like between small to medium size.
Okay. So experience, you have 5 school districts, correct?
Yes.
And currently you have how many?
3.
Okay, so it's 30,000 a month times 12. That's
No, 30,000 a year.
Oh, okay.
Paid on monthly installments is how I worded it. I apologize for any confusion.
Yeah, because 30 times 12 is at 360,000. Just wanted to make sure.
You're welcome to pay me that, but I don't think
No,
it'd be feasible.
We were questioning because
Yeah.
you have monthly installments of 30,000.
No, it says the annual budget. Sorry, maybe I. Hold on. So the way it was proposed on the RP response, it's annual fee to be paid in monthly installments of 30. Sorry, I guess I could see where that is. No, it's 30,000 total
Yearly,
for the year.
year.
And then 150 for the activities and projects I actually worded it the way the RP was asking questions, so I apologize for any confusion.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
The last one is Valley Risk Consulting.
Good evening. Thank you again for having us. A lot of familiar faces. I'm sure y'all have heard tons and tons and tons of words over what everybody can do for you guys. We are Valley Risk Consulting, myself, Linda Billings, Jonathan Zakulinski here, and Roger Garza. We are here to explain to you what we can do for our consulting services. Valley Risk Consulting was created to assist school districts with their management needs. We have over 100 years worth of combined public entity experience, 42 years in regards to self-funded plans, over 125 million in annual self-funded health plans, contributions under management. A little bit about our team. We have Roger Garza leading the way. He's the brains of the operation. Again, with 42 years of self-funded experience under his belt. We have Jonathan Zakulinski with employee benefits and risk management and the consulting in the public sector. Myself, Linda Billings, with the enrollment and ancillary services, and then also property and casualty with the public sector as well. Richard Garza with how many years experience? 40 years. Over 40 years of experience in enrollment and ancillary services, and then again, property and casualty with the public sector as well. And then Javi Liao with analytics and medical network development, public sector as well. Jonathan?
Good evening, board. My name is Jonathan Zakulinski, and don't let my last name fool you. I am born and raised in the Valley for McAllen. One of the things that we separates Valley Risk Consulting from all the other firms is we do a more of a hands-on approach for designing the RFP specifications. We work hand in hand with the insurance committee and your administration and the superintendent. One of the forefronts of what we do and what Mr. Roger Garza has paved the way for in the last 40 years is his expertise in the self-funded medical expense audits. He is the foremost leader in that field in the Rio Grande Valley. What we do at Valley Risk is we help put together your RFPs, the speculations, tailor them to the specific needs of the entity, or in this case, Mercedes ISD. We tabulate and evaluate all the proposals, and we show you the pros and cons and the limits and all the ins and outs of all the insurance contracts to show you if this is the best fit need for your school district. Valley Risk, we have an in-house stop-loss underwriting, as well as some of the best partnerships and relationships with some of the big carriers across the nation. And we do, in our Ben admin systems, we can do ACA for the Affordable Care Act reporting for your 1095s and 1094s. Some of our enrollment services and consolidated billing, we have that in-house as well. We can do Section 125, 403B, 457, as well as consolidated billing. As far as enrollment services go, we have a three-step process. We can have face-to-face, we can have a call center to make sure we get every single person, as well as we can have yourself, the employees can have their own login and they can actually do their enrollment by themselves with the instructions of how to do so. We also help with workers' compensation. Mr. Roger Garza was actually the first person to develop a 504 network for property and casualty in the Valley. We do have multiple school districts still in place in that network. As well as property and casualty, we can take you out for RFP and make sure we tabulate and show you all the best products out there with all the largest carriers. So for the blueprints for the future, what we look at is we have to develop a 3-year strategy. I know we just went through COVID. There's going to be some lingering effects with that. We are seeing that with some of our other school districts. And we have to hedge that and get ahead of it. Some of our chronic conditions that's going to last for years to come with some of our school district teachers. We have to look and track plan trends versus cost. I mean, we all know there's rising costs in health insurance and with inflation, but we have to plan against that. If that's looking at potentially going, with an international pharmacy plan for our drugs, so we can get lower costs with our drugs. If we look at potentially reference-based pricing for our medical, so we can lower the claims costs and save the district money in that way, we look at those options. So we have to create a trend just so we can make sure we're on track and we can stay within the budget for the school district. We do also do, depending on the ISD, we do monthly or quarterly or annual reviews. We do like to do quarterly just to stay ahead of anything. If we notice that there's going to be any specific new drugs or illnesses, we want to get ahead of that so we can make sure we can, modify those drugs to get the best deal possible for the employee. Let's see, performance.
Good evening, everybody. And why us is the question. If I may take it back just a little bit, when we start developing a 3-year strategic plan for you, it's a blueprint that we set up in advance so that you don't have to make redundant decisions every single year. We do this for all our clients. Some of them do 5 years, some of them start off at 3 years, but we modify it every 3 years to ensure that you have those blueprints set in place. When we talk about tracking trends and cost, one of the biggest pet peeves that's going on right now, and you'll see it across the valley, you can ask any superintendent, the long haulers are coming in. These are the COVID long haulers. These are respiratory issues that are starting to arise now. If I could, I would have provided you a list of the cost that it's costing districts. In some cases, it's 13% of the entire medical cost. So if your budget is set at $20 million, 10% of it, a minimum of 10% is going to be for respiratory illnesses and other related issues as it relates to COVID. In fact, you may look at the Kaiser reports. They're starting to show that those are one of the primary conditions that self-funded plans are going to have to worry about. And in doing so, what's going to happen is you're going to find that your stop-loss carriers are going to increase the specific deductibles to where you're funding most of your costs up front rather than passing it on to the insured. So we talk about why us, because we come up with newer and outside-of-the-box ideas. I have over 42 years of self-funded experience in this business, so I've seen the pros and the cons throughout the entire processes. I can tell you when it's a good idea to go self-funded. I can tell you when it's a good idea to stay out of self-funded. We inspire ownership. Once you're self-funded, since you can't go back, we inspire ownership with the employees. We make them part of the process. We want them to be part of the decision-making so they can understand what they have up front, and they can actually participate in the savings program as well. We provide incentives. We have a program called the reverse copay. So in other words, if they find a cheaper drug or a cheaper provider, we actually reverse the copays where we actually pay them to go to those providers. So those are programs that are new, they're outside the box, and they're very, very good programs, and they provide, again, ownership and assist in declining some of your costs. We are fee-based risk management consultants. That's what we do. We have licensed professionals in our office. We do all the underwriting. We do actuary work. So anything that the district needs as it comes to the ACA, we can assist in that area. And with that, and I always end it with this. If you hire us, you're joining good company. We have McAllen ISD. We have Hidalgo ISD, we have the City of Edinburgh, we have Texas Southmost College, we have Sherryland ISD, And a lot of these tenures have been 20 years, 20-plus years in some cases. So we've been with them, we've been partnered with them for a very, very long time. And last but not least, if you have any questions, we'll be more than glad to answer them for you. By the way, the pictures that we had up there, they didn't justify us. We're actually thinner than those pictures, so.
Well, sir, I had a question about self-insured, and maybe if the board wishes, entertain a full-funded, program, but, you answered that question. I had another question. Of all of them, sir, all you do is just do consultants? That's all you do, sir? You're a consultant? That's all
I
you
am.
do?
Yes, sir. I'm a fee-based consultant, yes, sir.
No commission fees, all that
No,
stuff?
sir. We do not accept, when I started Valley Risk Consulting, that was back in 2004, when I actually consolidated everything. It was the understanding that we were not going to accept any commission fees from any school district or any vendor from any school district. So what you actually engage us for is all you're going to get charged with. Now, we don't interfere with an agent's process. If you hire an agent, that's entirely up to you. But we just make sure that the district's interest is well protected first. So we have no relationship with agents per se. So this is just something to help the district out and make a better decision.
So enlighten me, I'm not an expert in insurance. So the volunteer services, RFP goes out, and let's say you are selected, you're gonna look at the best interest of the school district,
Yes, sir.
because you're not even worried about commissions, et cetera.
No, sir. We actually target costs first. In fact, we just did one presentation to the insurance committee, and our motivation, their motivation was cost. The second motivation that they had was benefits. When we combine all of that, we had the top 3 out of almost 100 proposals. So we had the top 3, and these were the top 3 that the committee actually tells us this is what we want you to take to the board. Now, the board has an option. They could go 1, 2, 3, or they can even go 4, 5, 6. It's entirely up to the board. But the first interest is only the employee interest and the lower cost.
It's kind of interesting, and I just want to commend you because it says on our notes that we received, colleagues, it says optional service, medical plan auditing, 18,000 annually. I mean, I just wanted to point that out. I'm like, so.
And you will review our P&C as well as part of your service?
Yes, sir. We bundled everything. I'm a licensed risk manager, so I'm not a licensed P&C agent. I do not sell property and casualty, so the state does not allow me to collect my commission. So for us, that's a plus. We're actually confirming that with the state. So what we're doing is basically we evaluate it, we actually audit it, and then we provide you the findings on a scheduled board meeting or workshop, and then you can decide whether you want to proceed with the same carrier or modify the coverage.
What's the longest account you've had in the Valley?
Sir?
What's the longest account you've had going in the Valley?
That's, yeah, check. It's 23 years.
And Mr. Garza, I see here, like Mr. Hernandez was commenting, on your proposed amount, it's an annual fixed. The only one that we would be looking at, the additional cost if we were to opt in on that medical billing.
Right. yes,
Okay,
sir.
and then she mentioned you had 40 years experience and you were the first to work on that 504 network here in the Valley.
Yes.
How long has your business been operating?
When I started on my own, it's actually, I say on my own, when I detached myself, it was in 2004. And I did it with the thought that a superintendent had said we needed somebody in the Valley to assist school districts with risk management needs because the agents were giving them advice and their cost was always escalating. So anyway, I decided then to leave and I'll tell you who, Texas Association of School Boards, and I started Valley Risk Consulting on my own. And actually, it was October 1st of 2004.
So that's where your 40 years experience comes
My
together?
40 years goes back to 1980, actually. So.
Okay. And you've serviced a total of how many school districts within that?
In Region 1, I can tell you that 85% of all the 5A school districts have, at one time or another, engaged us on a professional basis.
And can you help us negotiate on the prescription card as well?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
If selected.
If selected, yes, sir. We have actually resources, international resources, and Mr. Sokolinsky mentioned them, where you can buy your specialty drugs from an international market, Australia, and they're shipped directly to your employees' homes. So, in fact, the card is $1,600. Not the card, but the carrier, $1,600.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Well, colleagues, we're pretty much wrapped up the insurance consultant presentation. I'm gonna recommend, if it's okay with everybody, that we take a 5-minute break. I know some of you want to do some math, just look over some notes. And can we come back and continue? Okay, let's just take a 5-10 minute break. Is that okay?
Yes.
I don't need a motion on